Shots fired. No effing way. Did Keyshawn Davis just send Shakur Stevenson a cryptic message to fight? And not just to fight, to actually insult him because he called him a weirdo. As we all know, Shakur Stevenson and Keyshawn Davis were the best of friends. Every time I hear those two names, I just think of the Drake song, Is That Your Bestie? So for years, they both stated that they will never fight each other. But the weird part is, they're both in the same division and they're not even related. I know they're close, but they're not blood brothers and they're not even cousins. I remember when the Klitschko brothers, Wladimir Klitschko and Vitaly Klitschko, were on top and were ruling the heavyweight division. So these guys didn't even give a clue that they were gonna fight each other. So the whole boxing world never knew who would have beaten who. Will Vitaly beat Vladimir or will Vladimir beat Vitaly? And also the Charlo brothers. These are current active fighters. They're both twins, so they're exactly the same. Now one of the Charlos fights at 154 and the other Charlo fights at 160. Both of these fighters are identical twins, and I believe both of them could actually make 154 and 160. I just believe one of the Charlos decided to fight at 154, so they will never be asked who would be better. I believe if the other Charlo moves to 168, the other one will move to 160. But I believe the boxing world sometimes would go on better without knowing who would win, because nobody expects them to go out and kill each other. I do not expect the Klitschko brothers or the Charlo brothers to go all out. I actually expect them to hold back punches, because everybody in this sport never comes back the same. Some people can't even talk, some people get Tourette's, and some people just get eliminated from this world. And I do also believe everybody has their price. Even if Turki Al-Sheikh pays these guys enough to fight each other and get in the ring, I truly believe we will never know who the best fighter of them are. And I know brothers fight all the time, but this is a very deadly sport. Anything can happen in the ring, and I'm pretty sure these guys don't want to be the cause for hurting their own family members. I believe if they do make a fight with brothers, I believe it will be something like the fighters fought in the middle of Times Square in New York City. Everybody was timid and nobody was throwing punches. I believe that was the most boring time in boxing. Devin Haney put me to sleep versus Jose Ramirez, and also Rolly versus Ryan Garcia. He got dropped and never really wanted to fight Rolly after that. So I believe most fights against brothers will be something like that. But guess what, guys? Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson are not blood brothers. They're not even related. They're not even cousins. So if Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson do fight, even if they both agree not to go all out, I believe as soon as somebody lands a clean heavy shot, the fight will begin. As you can play any other sport except for boxing. Nobody plays UFC and nobody plays boxing. So if Keyshawn Davis or Shakur Stevenson get landed cleaned on, I'm pretty sure they're gonna want to get their get back. But if the Klitschko brothers or the Charlo brothers get landed cleaned on against each other, I believe they will want to get their get back, but they will not go all out. Hey, but prove me wrong, guys. If you guys ever do fight, put on a spectacular performance that's a class. And I know Keyshawn Davis and Shakur Stevenson both stated that they would never fight each other, but I believe today there were shots fired, as Shakur Stevenson and Richardson Hitchens were going back and forth on social media, and Keyshawn Davis sends them a cryptic message. He said that they were both weirdos and they should both get married. Now he said weirdos, so that means Hitchinson and Shakur Stevenson. He was talking ish about Shakur. And if you guys don't think that's enough to make a fight with each other, Keyshawn Davis sends another cryptic message. He says that anybody can get it and he's tired of sparring ninjas. The first time I heard this, I was driving and I heard that Keyshawn Davis is tired of sparring, but I thought he said sparring. How are you gonna be tired of sparring if sparring is what makes you a better fighter? And he says anybody can get it, not named DB3. Now DB3 are Keyshawn Davis's brothers, and blood brothers I might add. It's not your brother from junior high or high school that you call yourself brothers because you guys are very close but not related in any way, shape or form. But I'm really digging this bad beef because I actually want to see this fight. How are you gonna be fighting at 135 and avoid the other best fighter at your weight division? As to who is gonna win when they both fight each other, Keyshawn Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. I actually have Shakur Stevenson beating the living-ish out of Keyshawn Davis if Shakur is 100% healthy and he does not have injured hands, because we all know how Shakur fights with injured hands. He puts everybody to sleep. When Shakur Stevenson was fighting in Newark, his own fans were booing him and left the building. I wonder who would win, the version of Shakur Stevenson when he fought Edwin de los Santos, or the version of Devin Haney when he fought Jose Ramirez. I believe that fight will be action-packed and one of the fighters has to put on a clinic. But I believe Shakur Stevenson will beat Keyshawn Davis pretty decisively. I think it will be a one-sided fight. Now, I believe Keyshawn Davis is a very good fighter, but I don't think he's great yet, and I don't think he will ever be special. I believe Shakur Stevenson is levels above Keyshawn Davis, and I'm not the only one that thinks that. Now, Keyshawn Davis will be facing Edwin de los Santos, and that is Shakur Stevenson's old opponent. He says that Shakur Stevenson is levels above Keyshawn Davis. Now, why would me and Edwin de los Santos both see that? Because we both see the flaws on Keyshawn Davis. I actually have Teofimo Lopez beating the living-ish out of Keyshawn Davis. But guess what, guys? I ain't the biggest, I'm the baddest. And if you want to help out your boy, throw $1 at the Super Thanks. I got a roll. Peace.
I shook up the world! I shook up the world! I shook up the world!